Bloodstock 2013, we are here on the Gibson bus with our very, very special guests, Anthrax. How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
And what have you got planned for tonight? Anything special?
Same set as last night.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. You never know what we got special. I don't know. It's just doing our thing.
Yeah. It'll be a greatest hits set, if you know. Which
1
would be,
hour.
Which would be no songs because we really don't have any hits. But to this crowd, I guess it would be a greatest hits set. Yeah.
And it's an interesting situation with you guys, because obviously you had the new album after quite a long time away, and it was extremely well received. So how do you feel when you do the greatest hits sets? Because obviously on your own tour, you've been playing more new stuff.
Well, we're playing 2 songs off of music tonight. So in an hour set, that's about right, because normally a headline set's close to 2 hours, and we would do probably 5 songs off the record in a full headline set. So based on how long we're playing the night, it's about the right ratio, I think. You know, I mean, it's hard. It's not easy to even if you took worship music out of the equation and you just took like the 5 records from back in the day, even sometimes choosing what songs to play, because in an hour set, you're never going to please everybody.
Sure.
You know, and sometimes you think like, well, you know, maybe let's do something different. Like, let's try something else off Spreading the Disease that we haven't played as much. So then you drop a song, let's say like Indians, and then people go, why didn't you play Indians? We're like, well, because we play it every time. But then they get mad if you don't play it. So
it's tough. Some stuff doesn't live. It doesn't fit. Some of the songs just don't drive like the other ones.
We saw it firsthand in the States back in April and May. We did this tour where we played all of Among the Living. And, people were really excited about it. We were excited about it to play the whole record. But it was so obvious every night. Outside of, like, you got Among the Living, Caught in a Mosh, NFL, Indians, I Am the Law. Those are the 5 ones that we basically played kind of almost in the set always. Among the Living, not as much. And then you got Skeletons in the Closet, which is something we've kind of played a little bit over the years, which would go over. Plus, it's just such a fucking thrasher, so it's kind of undeniable. But then you'd get to the last half of the end of side 2, basically, One World, Horror of It All, and Imitation of Life. And I am telling you, the crowd would just die on those songs. And these people have been listening to this record for 20-something years. Yeah. Yet you get to those songs, and the energy of the crowd would noticeably.
And it's not like they didn't like it. It's just those songs just don't have the same, the bang.
It's almost like you could have played Indians again twice in the set, and it would have went over better than like Horror of It All did. It's so weird.
And they're not easy to play, some of the stuff either. They're very record type of music,
Because you'd finish Imitation of Life. That would be the last song of the set. We'd go off, come back for encores, and then play a bunch of like other, greatest hits, whatever.
Back a new band.
And then all of a sudden, the crowd would be back 150%, back to life. But it was weird. So it's a lot of times when people ask us, how come you don't play this song, or how come you don't play that song? And the reason is because if we bust it out, like let's say, people ask us all the time, specifically, there's a song off Spreading the Disease called Lone Justice. There's a very hardcore group of fans that ask us about that song. If we were to bust that out tonight in front of 15,000 people here, it'd be fucking crickets.
Yeah, it would be weird, man. And we'd be busting our balls just to play it,
So when you did worship music, how quickly did it take you to realise which songs worked live and which weren't going down so well? Because obviously you must have had a similar kind of learning experience with those new songs.
We didn't really, though, because we kind of picked a few right off the bat, and then those worked well, and to this day we haven't played all of the songs on the record live. I think we've done 6 maybe out of the whole album. I think.
Yeah, at best, if that, right?
There's some songs we've never done yet live, so. But I think sometimes it's kind of obvious. I mean, I would love to play the song Crawl. I don't think we've ever done that live yet.
Yeah, it may not even work.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it on a festival like today, but on a headlining run, certainly maybe next album cycle, that's a song we would bust out in a headline set. We never even got to that song over the last 2 years. But I think it's a song that needs to at least try it.
Sure.
It's tough with new stuff anywhere you look at it.
And moving on slightly, obviously last night we had the next year's headliner announced as Emperor, and that's a band that's got back together. Now obviously it's not quite the same situation with you, but you had the reunion with yourself a few years ago. How did you go about making sure that coming back together worked right, so that it felt good for the fans and for you?
I don't think we did anything.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no way to make sure. I just think the album. I think the songs, the album is kind of what cemented the deal. Let's say, because it's very easy on paper, let me rephrase it differently. It's very easy for us to get together and go out and play the catalog. I mean, we obviously, and you could easily very well go do that and never make a new record. And we could go out and probably play songs off our back catalog for the next 10 years as long as we want to, come to Europe every summer and play festivals. But it's not who we are as people and as musicians. And we still have that drive to want to make new music. And we felt like we did a great job with Worship Music. And obviously people around the world connected with the record. And I think for us as a band, it meant a lot to us to be able to come back, Joey back in the band, and come back so strongly with a record that means so much to people, certainly after the fact, after it being out for 2 years. It means so much to people all around the planet, and I think that actually really kind of cemented the whole thing for us to know that, hey, look what we did. We got back together and look what we did. And that's just the beginning. It's kind of almost like how it was when we made Spreading Disease back in 1985. Who knew? We didn't know it was going to work, but it did. And then we made Among the Living, so that's kind of where my brain is at. We just made Worship Music. Wow, look how good that did. Well, fucking hell, man, what's coming next? And that's kind of how, for me, it makes me really excited about the future because of what we've accomplished.
That's why you're in
since
a band in the
2010.
first place. Just try to achieve these goals, Be real about it.
Yeah, the album made it really exciting to be back in the band again together.